January 2020, a quiet Denver neighborhood. A cold morning that should have been ordinary. Until a trash bin in a small driveway revealed something no one was prepared to face. A young life vanished, and the only person believed to be home that night was someone bound by blood, a brother. A detail so ordinary, yet so profoundly unsettling. What happened behind those silent walls? And why did the truth hide in the shadows of a single camera lens? Welcome to True Crime Vault. Subscribe, like, and turn on notifications so you never miss the stories buried beneath real crime files. Tonight, we reopen the case of Marn Kelly Mills. I smoke, so my mind is foggy. This statement, delivered with a slow, deliberate cadence, served as the opening salvo of Darshan Kelly's meticulously rehearsed, but fundamentally inept performance. At 25, he played the role of a victim, a man rendered cognitively impaired, too confused by drugs and misfortune to process the legal catastrophe unfolding around him. The air in the small, windowless interrogation room was heavy with this falsehood. His lack of recollection was a cheap, theatrical device, deployed reflexively against every direct question. The seasoned detective across the table, however, watched with detached precision, unfooled by the transparency of the evasion. I don't remember. How does marijuana affect you? Well, I got electrocuted, so my brain. I think I have brain damage. Darshan attempted to reinforce his defense, layering a prior verifiable trauma onto his drug use. The past incident and electrocution became his shield, a blanket explanation for all cognitive failure. He hoped to transition from high suspect to medically compromised victim, yet he remained utterly ignorant that the investigator held a singular, devastating piece of counter-evidence, a recording that would vaporize every excuse and violently rip him out of his fabricated smoke-filled haze. That's not going to work, man. That's not going to work. The detective's voice instantly dropped, losing the carefully maintained veneer of patient sympathy. The change in tone was absolute. It was the sound of leverage gained. Okay, the police are there at your house right now. The source of this devastating shift was simple, localized, and utterly damning. A neighbor's surveillance camera, mounted discreetly across the quiet residential street, had captured far more than just vague, ambiguous motion. In high definition, unpitying video, it recorded Darshan Kelly, just minutes before the first patrol car arrived, wrestling with the heavy, dead weight of his own younger sister's body, struggling to lift and forcibly discard her remains into a driveway trash receptacle, meant for routine household waste. Well, we need to talk about what happened to your sister. Darshan, trapped but still clinging desperately to the charade, offered an impossible, absurd responsive performance, rapidly nearing its curtain call. What did happen to my sister? You know what happened to your sister? I don't even know why I'm here. The relentless tick of the clock was now deafening. The detective's tolerance for this elaborate, self-serving deflection had hit zero. The suspect's internal delusion, the facile belief that he merely needs to confuse the officer long enough to walk out the door and go home, was about to be annihilated by the crushing reality of a pending first-degree murder charge. You're not going home. You're going to jail. That's where you're going. The formal investigation commenced on the cold, clear morning of January 23, 2020. Officers with the Denver Police Department responded to a frantic 911 dispatch, coded as a high-priority medical emergency, at a private residence near the intersection of Troy Street and East 50th Avenue. Upon arrival, they were met with a scene of utter chaos. A deeply distressed female relative was being confronted by a concerned, bewildered neighbor in the front yard. Lying starkly in the driveway, tipped precariously beside an overturned, black plastic trash receptacle, was the victim, 17-year-old Marn Kelly Mills. She had been tragically and brutally extracted moments earlier from a large, black duffel bag that had been hastily and incompetently hidden beneath layers of routine household garbage. The subsequent legal affidavit confirmed the grim horror. Marn had suffered catastrophic, severe sharp force trauma to her neck and was officially pronounced deceased at the location. A crime scene established right there in the suburban driveway. The woman who made the gruesome discovery, Marn's close relative, provided officers with a critical timeline. She stated she had gone to work the previous night, around 11:30 p.m., leaving only Marn and the 25-year-old suspect, Darshan Kelly, alone inside the quiet home. That morning, she rushed back after receiving an alarming call from the victim's high school, reporting Marn as absent. Inside the house, everything appeared undisturbed and normal. But outside, she immediately noticed several disturbing details. A distinct, dark stain on the concrete driveway, a recently used garden hose lying coiled nearby, and the large trash cans noticeably shifted from their designated spot. When she nervously searched the main receptacle, she first encountered discarded junk food, wrappers items she knew were tied directly to Darshan's room. Immediately beneath them was the chilling, horrifying weight of the black duffel bag containing Maan's body. Maan, Kelly Mills, was a typical 17-year-old high school junior, living with her mother and older brother Darshan in the Montbello neighborhood. On the evening prior to her death, she was home while her mother prepared for her graveyard shift. Sworn statements contained within the affidavit painted a deeply troubled picture. Maan's relationship with Darshan was volatile, characterized by frequent, explosive arguments. Most chillingly, Maan had recently confessed her growing fear of her brother to her mother, alleging that Darshan had made explicit, direct threats against her life. Detectives rapidly secured the entire residence as a primary crime scene. Simultaneously, another officer was dispatched to review the crucial evidence, the doorbell camera. Video footage recovered from the house positioned directly across the street. The affidavit emphatically stated that the footage clearly showed a male figure, irrefutably matching Darshan Kelly's physical description, laboriously dragging a heavy dark bag toward the designated trash can and visibly struggling against the weight as he hoisted and deposited the massive object inside. Hours later, confined to the stark, sterile environment of the interrogation room, Darshan stubbornly clung to his fabricated timeline, maintained he had simply woken up that morning and left immediately for the Social Security office, consistently blaming his continuous cannabis use for his completely debilitating foggy memory. He vehemently denied having ever placed anything into the trash receptacle. But his meticulously constructed lie was merely seconds away from total implosion. Scheduled for the precise moment, detectives chose to confront him with the unflinching visual testimony of the camera. The foundational, unshakable evidence was the neighbor's surveillance footage from the night prior. Investigators had already reviewed the video countless times, watching the heavy figure, matching Kelly's build, drag the weighted bag, and forcibly wedge it into the exact container where Maan was ultimately discovered. The relative who had found the body confirmed the identification. Without hesitation, the figure was Darshan. That footage constituted the bedrock of the entire investigation and was the sole reason he was sitting there. The suspect who began by grandly stating, "Knowing my rights and knowing what I'm doing. I now wish to voluntarily talk to me. Do you wish to talk to me today?" What? Well, to try to explain what's going on and why you're under arrest and what happened. So, I don't know. I was okay. Well, do we got to do this? I don't know what you're going to say. So, do you wish to talk so we can have a conversation about what's going on? I mean, I shouldn't even be under arrest. Okay. Well, again, we can't talk about any of that until we do this. Okay, so, do you wish to talk to me? What we can do is we can talk, and if you want to stop at any time, you can do that. But again, we got to do this because I don't know. I don't know what you're going to say exactly. So, it's going to protect everything. To protect you. Protect me. Are you sure? That's okay. Darshan, fueled by the delusional and disastrous conviction that he was unjustly detained, had waived his Miranda rights almost immediately, virtually running toward the interview. As the questioning proceeded, it became terrifyingly clear how profound and fatal his error in judgment truly was. I'm going to go over the rest of this form. Okay. If any time you don't understand something, you just tell me. Okay. I don't know how many this concerns an investigation of a homicide. Okay. Darshan manufactured confusion over the gravity of the legal terminology, pretending the word was alien to him. What does that mean? Someone's been killed. That was reported to occur at Troy Street. That's where you live, correct? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to ask you for questions. Okay. Have any promises or threats been made at any time by myself or anyone else to get you to make this statement? Could you repeat that? Have any promises or threats been made at any time by myself or anyone else to get you to make this statement? No. Okay. Are you an influence of any drugs, narcotics, or alcohol? Marijuana. Okay. When did you smoke marijuana? Man. On the way to the Social Security office. Okay. What time do you think? Oh man. I don't remember. Okay. So I'm at 4:30 right now. Your eyes aren't red. They look glassy. Do you feel like you're high? No. No, okay. A little. Okay. We'll talk about that in a second. Okay. Is this statement being made voluntarily? That I'm high? No. Is this statement being made? Are you talking to me voluntarily? Is anyone forcing you to talk to me? No. Well, yes and no. Because I don't really know why I'm under arrest. I don't know why I'm here. Okay. You understand you don't have to talk to me, right? Do you understand that? I think it'll go smoother if I do. Okay. Well, again, that's completely up to you. But I voluntarily. That's what that means is, no one's forcing you to talk. Okay, you're good. Darshan, despite consciously acknowledging his fundamental right to remain silent, refused to terminate. The interviewer requests the presence of legal counsel. Instead of taking the opportunity to walk out, he stayed seated, drifting immediately into one of the most bizarre and rambling, disconnected interrogation performances the detective, in all his years, had likely ever witnessed. Everything here is recorded. Okay, Darshan. You live at the house, correct? Yes. Tell me what you did today. Start with when you woke up. I woke up and I left. Okay. What time did you wake up? I don't remember. Okay. Any idea? I don't remember. Okay. And you said you left. Where did you leave? I left and went to the food stamp office. For the food stamp office? And when you say you left, where did you leave from? My house at 51 Troy. Yeah, okay. Who lives there? My mother and my sister. Your mother and your sister. What's your mother's name? What's your sister's name? Marn Mills. Okay. When you left, was it light out or dark out? It was light. Okay. Who was home when you left? I think Marn. Okay. I'm smoked so my neighbor's all foggy. Yeah. I think she had the water upstairs running. Okay. I think she was getting ready to take a shower. I think. Okay. Was she work or go to school, or what was she going to be doing? I have no idea. You don't know. But you just heard some water running upstairs. Yeah, okay. Your mom. Did she work? Yes. Where's your mom work? I have no idea. You have no idea. I think the History Museum. History Museum. Did she work during the day or at night? Both. Okay. Was she at work when you left? I'm not sure. You're not sure. But you didn't see her. I didn't see her. Okay. Do you think she was home or no? No. I mean, if she was home, her car would have been home. Okay. So, her car wasn't there. I mean, that's what I think. Darshan labors to make a highly obvious and frustratingly recurring point of not remembering virtually any specific detail. Every gap in his recollection is consistently, stubbornly attributed to his heavy marijuana use. He cannot even manage to recall where his own mother is professionally employed. This transparent, conveniently deployed memory fog, however, will be rendered utterly useless when the detectives decisively introduce the unedited visual proof of his most recent, heinous crime. Did you see when was the last time you saw your mom? Last night she cooked gumbo and we talked about the Super Bowl. Yeah. Who's going to win? If Kansas City doesn't put up 24 points in the first half, they're not going to win the Super Bowl. First half. Really? First half. And the reason is because Richard Sherman has been in 3 Super Bowls, counting this one, and he's won 2. The Seahawks did not lose that Super Bowl to the Patriots. They did not. Not with Marshawn in the backfield. Yeah, they should have. Yeah, you're right. They probably shouldn't have. But that's why I think if Kansas City doesn't put up the 24 in the first half, they're not going to win the season. You big football fan? Yeah, love football. Broncos, yeah, of course. Yeah, me too. So gumbo, was it good? Yeah, what time? What did you do last night? What time did you go to bed? You think? The detective, a master of this specific, tried and true, investigative technique, shifted smoothly and expertly into harmless small talk. The conversation drifted naturally to Super Bowl predictions, the previous night's simple gumbo dinner, and favorite local football teams, the Broncos. Of course, this tactical maneuver was meticulously calculated by granting Darshan permission to ramble confidently about topics that genuinely engaged him. The detective aimed to cultivate a false sense of rapport, security, and normalcy, thereby making Darshan substantially less guarded. Once the suspect was visibly relaxed and talking freely and comfortably, the detective would seamlessly, almost imperceptibly, steer the conversation back to the highly specific, crucial time frame Darshan had been desperately, pathologically, attempting to avoid. I don't remember. Maybe 9:30. Maybe 9:30. Okay, when you went to bed, who was all home? My mom had just cooked. So, like right after she finished cooking, I went to sleep. Okay, so, your mom was there. You were there. What's your sister's name? What's your sister's names? Marn. Was Marn there? Yes. Okay. Anybody else who, he might have been there. He's a friend of the family. Yeah. Okay. What do you mean he might have been there? Did you see him? Or, oh no. I think that was the day before. The day before, not sure though, cause I'm high, so I don't remember. Expletive, I was getting high last night too. Yeah. I don't remember. How does marijuana affect you? Well, I got electrocuted. So, my brain. I think I have brain damage. Okay, I'm like a TBI. Okay, which is a traumatic brain injury. I had my case handled by the, American Civil Liberties Union of Denver. Okay, and I just smoke weed because my head hurts like a lot. Like, when I got electrocuted, my head bounced off like the concrete time. Yeah, so, I just smoke weed down to the panic. So when you smoke it, do you get sleepy? Do you get tired? Do you get energized? How does it affect you? Do you see things? I mean, what does it do to you? I just chill. It just kind of calms you down. Yeah, okay. I mean, I'm not even 9, not hyper. I just like to smoke weed, and because it helps my pain, I just chill. Okay. Do you take any other medication? Like Advil and etc. Okay. Nothing else. You're not. No. Are you supposed to take medication? No. Darshan leans almost theatrically on the brain injury defense. Foggy memory. Continually high. Smoking last night. Smoking this morning. It's a transparent attempt to construct an all-encompassing explanation for why he cannot commit to a single, concrete, time-sensitive detail. But the fundamental, terrifying problem for Darshan is elegantly simple. Video cameras do not suffer from concussions, and the digital footage waiting outside that room is not suffering from memory fog. Darshan remains completely oblivious to the nature and sheer volume of the evidence that has already been recorded against him. Did your mom go to work last night and work all night long? Actually, yeah, nobody was there because she told me she was getting ready to cook and then she was going to go to sleep. Yeah. So when she goes to work at night, what time does she go to work? That varies. Sometimes she'll leave like 6 o'clock. Sometimes she leaves at like 10 o'clock. Yeah. So, and during the night, did you hear anything? Was anything going on in the house? Other than I'm watching TV. No. What did you watch? Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad. You like that show? Yeah. What season you watching? Man, I got on Netflix. So, was there any drama at the house last night? Did you hear any arguing? Any fighting? It was actually really peaceful. Last night. It was peaceful last night. Yeah, okay. Did you get along with your mom? Yeah. It was really great. Yeah, how about generally? Do you get along with your mom? We have our ups and our downs. But, well, everyone does, right? Yeah. Nothing major. No. How about your sister? But same. Yeah. Is it fair to say you guys have kind of had some issues in the past? Yeah. Pastes. Yeah. What do you think the issue? What's the problem? I don't like when she plays her music super loud in the house. Yeah. But that's it. Yeah. And, her friends, an expletive, I think that, I don't think that she should hang around the people that she hangs around. Are they bad people? Well, according to my mother, yeah. How old your sister? Like 15. Mon was precisely 17 years old. Yet Darshan could not even accurately state the age of his own younger sister. He constantly drifts and hedges between answers, deliberately buffering every single detail, acting as if even the most basic biographical facts are frustratingly out of reach. That perpetually shaky memory becomes utterly unbelievable and catastrophic for him once the detective introduces the hard evidence explicitly showing what he was really doing during those silent pre-dawn hours. 15. So kind of typical 15-year-old. Yeah. Play music loud. Kind of mouthy kind of thing. No. When she plays her music and she gets hers. I just tried to stay away from her. Yeah. Did any of that stuff happen last night? She played music. Yeah. Did you have to ask her to turn it down? No. I just ignored her. I went to sleep. Yeah. When was the last time you saw your sister? Last night. Last night? Before, after you saw your mom? Like right before, because right before. Yeah. My mom was me. Mom was cooking in the kitchen. Or I think I went upstairs like twice. But I know my mom was walking or she was cooking in the kitchen, and then she walked out of the kitchen. Okay. And or Man might have walked out of the kitchen, but I know Man was brushing her hair. Brushing her hair, I know that. Okay. So, did she stay up late a lot? Is she like a night owl kind of person? She goes out with her friends. Goes out with her friends. Yeah. Okay. And from the sounds of it, you three are the only people that live there, correct? Yeah. And your room's in the basement. My room is in the downstairs. We don't have a basement. Oh, well, downstairs. So, everyone else is up, so we probably hear everything down there, don't you? People walking around and stuff, and yeah, get kind of loud down there for you. Just when she plays her music. Yeah. Did you guys have an issue the other day where the cops had to come to the house? Not remember. No. If your mom said the cops came to the house the other day, would that surprise you? Did you call the cops the other day? Not that I remember. No. Okay. How do you feel about your sister? I love my sister. Your sister? Yeah, that's my baby. While Darshan mechanically recited the lines about loving his sister, his highly restless body language screamed a contradictory and disturbing tale. His legs wouldn't stay still beneath the table. He constantly fidgeted. He kept scowling, diverting his gaze toward the floor, and every single answer was framed by the defensive, utterly meaningless mantra. I don't remember. Arms tightly crossed, increasingly agitated, and visibly drifting. These were the classic, undeniable physical signs of a deeply guilty person under extreme, suffocating pressure, who had completely run out of safe places to hide within his own story. So, your mom goes to work. You're there 9:30. Go to sleep. You are not sure what time you wake up. And then you leave. Where do you go when you leave? This morning. Yeah, I'm my Saeed. Didn't leave last night. No. This morning. I'm sorry. No, you're good. I went to the food stamp office. Food stamp. Whereas, not the food stamp office, but the Social Security office. Social Security office. Yeah. And do you have any idea around what time? I don't. No. But it was light out. Yeah. And your mom wasn't home from work yet? No. Do you know what time she normally gets home? I don't. No, and do you know what time does Mom normally leave? I don't know. Sometimes. Actually, most of the time when I wake up, she's already gone. Already gone. Was it surprising that she was around today? That when you got up, it's probably my sister. Yeah, so should she have been gone? You know what I mean? When you woke up. I don't know. Don't know. Okay. And you did not see her this morning? Not that I remember. Don't you remember? You think you would have remembered? Not that I remember. Okay. Did you talk to her? Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, you would have remembered. Yeah, for sure. Okay. Did you talk to her on the phone? I don't have her number. I don't, she doesn't. No, we don't. I didn't talk to her. No. Tell me why you guys don't get along. 'Cause that's what I'm told. Your mom said you and your sister really don't get along. She plays her music loud, is part of this, and she does it every day. When she comes home, she turns that up. She with you think. That constant pounding noise. She knows I don't like it. I asked her several times to turn it down, but she simply doesn't listen to me. What Darshan failed to grasp in that small, windowless room was that his inquisitors were operating from a position of absolute certainty. Detectives had already meticulously analyzed every frame of the surveillance footage captured by the neighbor's security system directly across the street. They had witnessed the man who bore his exact likeness down to the specific clothing he wore that night, dragging a heavy black duffel bag through the profound darkness, struggling visibly under its ominous, unnatural weight, and brutally shoving the entire bulky object into the large trash receptacle, the very bin where his sister Man's body was later found. Before the formal interrogation session had even commenced, the investigating team had reconstructed the complete, damning timeline, analyzed every critical movement, and uncovered the horrifying truth, concealed beneath the layers of ordinary household waste. The detective, having allowed Darshan to hang himself with his casual lies, was now fully ready to deploy this irrefutable and devastating evidence directly in front of him. Darshan, let's stop with the Social Security Office alibi for a moment. Something terrible happened at the house. Okay. And here's the thing. Okay. I'm not going to lie to you. Okay. I am not going to sugarcoat this. There is a video camera across the street that caught the whole sequence of events. Did you know that was there? I did. Okay. And there is video footage of you putting some heavy, dark stuff in the trash can. I agree. I've seen that video with my own eyes. I've watched it. I agree. So, it's really critically important that you tell me what actually happened inside the house, so we can start to piece this together and figure out how it happened. You seem like a normal guy. You seem like a nice guy. You're polite enough. But sometimes things happen in moments of extreme anger or panic. Things that you desperately wish wouldn't have happened, but they do. So, I saw the video of you putting that specific thing in the trash can. That incredibly heavy thing in the trash can. You have to tell me what transpired. Okay. There are always two sides to every story, and we need yours. I would definitely like to see this so-called video, because I'm letting you know right now. When I left this morning, I went straight to the Social Security office. That's where I was. Okay. We can deal with the SS office later. Right now, tell me, what exactly did you throw in that trash can? I didn't throw anything in the trash. Well, the picture on the video says otherwise. I see it with my own eyes. It's undeniable. Okay. You absolutely have to tell me, man. Like I have a terrible feeling. You probably feel really bad. Maybe even sick at this point, but something transpired that night. Okay. And there is no rationale getting around it now. Okay. So, the asterisk, what asterisk, and the asterisk, why asterisk, are very, very important for your future. Because I genuinely believe that you do love your mother, and you do love your sister, but it's really important that you give your side of what occurred. What truly happened. Just explain the sequence of events. Man, this high-quality security footage provided undeniable, temporal proof that Darshan was fully conscious, highly active, and physically moving outside the house during the exact hours when only he and Marn were supposedly present inside. Darshan's repeated claims of going to sleep early and leaving early for the Social Security office were completely and catastrophically refuted by the visual evidence of a man matching his precise build and movements handling a heavy, dark bag and disposing of it during that crucial, predefined window of time. There was absolutely no logical way to spin this truth away. No high-powered lawyer, no manufactured excuse, no claim of unreliable memory, and no alternative theory could possibly overcome what the camera's lens had permanently captured. I woke up and the first thing I did was go to the Social Security office. Well, maybe you did eventually go to the Social Security office. But tell me about what happened between you and your sister before that. Okay. That continuous alibi is not going to work, man. That's not going to hold up. Okay. The police are actively working at your house right now, collecting forensic evidence. Your mom was sitting in that very seat just 2 hours ago, weeping. You have to explain what happened. Unless you are just a total monster, and I truly don't think you're a monster, there must be a reason. I don't know, but I am just trying to go home now. Well, first, we need to have a serious conversation about what happened to your sister Man. What? What did happen to my sister? I am completely unaware. You know exactly what happened to your sister. I don't even know why I'm here being questioned. I told you clearly that this is a homicide investigation, right? I don't know what that means. You don't know what a homicide means? No, I truly don't. You don't know what the simple word homicide means? No. Why are you getting so agitated, Darshan? Your face is flushed. Your legs are constantly moving. They tell me you're highly agitated and distressed. I mean, I would like to go home. Yeah. Unfortunately, Darshan, you're officially under arrest for a serious crime, and I need you to fully explain what occurred. If something happened suddenly that caused this horrific event, you need to tell me the specific circumstances. This is your only chance to get it all out, and tell me what happened while there is still a slight chance for understanding. Darshan began repeating his desperate desire to leave the facility, but his entire physical demeanor violently betrayed him. His eyes darted nervously around the sterile room, searching for an exit that wasn't there. His legs refused to stop their frantic, chittering movement beneath the table. And the detective finally called out these obvious, non-verbal signs of extreme distress and guilt. "We didn't arrest you. For no reason, Darshan. We have proof." Well, when they arrested me, they didn't say they just stormed me, threw me violently on the ground, and arrested me instantly. So, I don't know, bro. I don't even like being around the police officers. I've been shot by the police before, you know? Oh, I'm sorry, dude. I truly am sorry about that. That's a terrible experience. Yeah, I've been tased by the police too. Multiple times. Sorry about that. That sounds rough. So, that's why I don't willingly get involved with the cops. I'm good. I just want to go home. The central problem, Darshan, is this. You're on video. It's excellent high definition video footage. I just want to go home. Well, you can't. You are formally under arrest for murder. So, it is really important that you get your actual side of this story out now. Your mother deserves to know the circumstances. And honestly, I think you'll feel immensely better once you tell the truth. Unless you're just a war, you're fundamentally a bad guy. Darshan, I just want to go home. Oh, you're under arrest. You are absolutely not going home tonight. I mean, I'm not being... Don't know, man. I don't know, bro. I just want to go home. I need to leave. Okay, well, I want to go home, too, but I can't go home either until this is resolved. Alright, okay. Are you sorry about what happened before you got up and went to the Social Security office? Darshan, you are clearly on video putting your sister's body in that trash can. I personally saw it myself. So, I can either conclude two possibilities. I can either think you are this terrible, callous, premeditated person, or I can think you temporarily lost your mind in a moment of panic and something tragic happened. But simply saying, "Hey, I didn't do anything," is never going to work. It is physically captured on video. We know exactly what you threw in that trash can. We have the video. Darshan, completely unable to mentally process the devastating reality of his immediate situation, kept repeating his singular, manic intention to leave, as if the simple, desperate repetition could somehow manifest his freedom. "I just want to go home." Well, that's not happening. And so you need dits. Really important that you tell me. Get it out. Get the truth out. Get the explanation out. What happened? If you're not going to let me go home, then do something definitive. Put me in, across the street, in the county lockup or something. Say, why? Matter of fact, why can't I legally go home right now? 'Cause you're under arrest for murder. That is precisely why. That's crazy. So, if you don't want to explain yourself, that's the first time I'm being officially told that. That's absolutely crazy. Well, it is crazy. A homicide is always crazy. For going to the Social Security office, that's what I'm charged with. No, Darshan, because I personally witnessed you throw your sister's body into a dumpster into that trash can. Well, you either give a damn about what happened, or you don't. I don't know which it is. I don't know you at all. I don't know your heart. Well, but just saying you don't know, or nothing happened, isn't going to fly. There has to be a specific reason it happened. Yeah, well, unless you're totally and irredeemably a bad guy. I just want to go home, man. Well, that is an impossibility. So, listen to me closely. Look at me, man. Look at me. I'm over here. I'm right here. Are you a bad guy? Do you love your mom? I love my mom. I wouldn't do you know how utterly heartbroken and destroyed she is right now, sitting at home. You owe it to her to explain this tragedy. Who cares about what I think? You owe it to your mother to explain what occurred. What happened? Give her closure. I just want to go home. Your mom has taken care of you selflessly for a long time, hasn't she? Years of support. I just want to go home. You're not going home. No. So, your mom has taken care of you for a long time, right? Do you want to end this video? We can end it anytime you want. I told you clearly you don't have to talk to me. I am trying to offer you a meaningful chance. If you absolutely don't want to talk, tell me directly. I don't want to talk to you anymore. And we'll be done immediately. And you'll go straight to jail. I'm trying to give you a critical opportunity to explain what happened, so I can at least explain to your mother, why. You are clearly visible on video, putting your sister in a trash can. Can we end this interview? Are you deaf? Did you hear what I said clearly? I told you you could. Darshan, that is your right. Can we end this interview? We sure can. Yes, let's officially end the interview right now. I want to go home. You're not going home. You're going to jail. That is your destination now. So that's where you're going. Well, I mean, that's better. I'm not going to jail, 'cause I ain't doing nothing wrong. Yeah, you are definitely going to jail. I'm not actually. You want to watch me not go? I didn't do anything to be jailed for. Yeah, you're going to jail. Okay. So, you said you wanted to stop the interview. So we have to stop now. I just want to go home. You're not going home. So, we have to stop this immediately, 'cause you exercised your right to stop. So, I mean, do you have like a lawyer or something retained? You can get one appointed when you go to court. When will that be? I honestly don't know. Hey, you said don't. Keep talking now. You said you didn't want to talk anymore, and that is your constitutional right. So I'm going to call your mum now and tell her Yuru explicitly didn't want to. Explain what you did to her daughter. You need anything else right now? You need anything else before I physically put you in jail? I just want to go home. You're not going home. I just want to go home. You're not going home. I want to go home. You're not going home. Well, I want to go home. Darshan Kelly was formally arrested and booked shortly after the body of his 17-year-old half-sister, Marn Kelly Mills, was tragically discovered, tightly stuffed inside a dark duffel bag within the confines of the family's outdoor trash receptacle. He was officially charged with second-degree murder. The case, due to the insurmountable evidence, never proceeded to a full, protracted jury trial, following an unexpected guilty plea entered in August 2022. His temporary bail status was immediately superseded by permanent custody, and he remained incarcerated in the Department of Corrections pending his formal sentencing hearing. The prosecution's case against Darshan Kelly was devastatingly simple, concise, and concrete. It included the clear surveillance video showing Kelly dumping the heavy, suspicious bag into the trash can, the meticulous forensic confirmation of the dumpster's specific contents that verified the victim's location, the detailed forensic pathology report documenting the sharp force neck injuries that tragically killed Marn, and the eyewitness testimony from the relative who discovered the concealed body. The defense offered no alternative suspects or plausible, verifiable explanations for the critical time gap, opting instead for a plea deal. The recognition of the overwhelming and objective video evidence left absolutely no room for any rational or reasonable doubt concerning Darshan's culpability. With the guilty plea formally entered, the court moved directly to sentencing proceedings, requiring no jury deliberations whatsoever. On October 21, 2022, the court accepted Kelly's guilty plea. He was officially found culpable of second-degree murder, with no lesser or alternate charges applied. Kelly was subsequently sentenced to 27 years in the Colorado Department of Corrections. The presiding judge explicitly ordered no concurrent sentences, sternly ensuring that the full term reflected the immense gravity of the crime, the brutal killing of a minor family member, immediately followed by the calculated and callous attempt to hide her body and evade justice. He is currently serving that sentence, with his parole eligibility to be strictly determined under state standards. Darshan Kelly's case stands as a grim example of how powerful, objective, and unbiased evidence, particularly in the form of surveillance footage, can completely dismantle every manufactured excuse and desperate denial. Memory loss, confusion, claims of panic, drug use, the story that began with the desperate, repeating denial of "I don't remember," ended with a 27-year prison sentence. For Marn's surviving family, while judicial justice ultimately arrived, it can never ever bring back their daughter. In the end, this case leaves us with a heavy reminder. The most devastating tragedies are not always born from strangers in the dark, but from silence inside our own homes. When warning signs go unnoticed, when fear is dismissed, when conflict grows quietly behind closed doors, the cost can become irreversible. Justice may have arrived in the courtroom, but closure never comes easily for families left behind. Their pain urges us to pay attention, to speak up when something feels wrong, and to reach out for help before tension becomes catastrophe. Real safety is not just about locking doors. It is about listening to one another, understanding one another, and stepping in when someone is struggling. Stories like this are never told to sensationalize, but to remind us that awareness saves lives. If this case moved you, challenged you, or made you think more deeply about the people around you, then let it be a quiet call to stay alert and stay compassionate. Thank you for watching True Crime Vault. If you found value in this deep dive, please support the channel by subscribing, liking, and sharing. Your engagement helps us continue uncovering the hidden layers behind real criminal cases from around the world. And when you're ready, explore the other videos on our channel H1, revealing another story, another lesson, and another voice that deserves to be heard.